Yo, how's it going? 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 Alright, so let's talk today. Let's do some learning. Let's learn together. Let's share what we know, if we can. I want to share a little bit. I also want to get some information from other people today. So give out information, see what I can learn. You know, you never know. You don't know what you do know. So let's talk about happiness. What a lovely topic. Happiness is hormonal. Happiness is a lot of things, but happiness is physical health for sure. Physical and mental, emotional, spiritual health. Physical health aspect, a huge reason why we can elevate our happiness and why we get depressed and sad is because of the aspect of physical health of our hormones. We're not maximizing our body's potential to produce its own hormones because we're not living the life the right way. We're not following physical health protocols, right? They're going to maximize our hormones. No one talks about hormones that much in physical health, do they? Serotonin, dopamine, GABA, acetylcholine, these four. I think serotonin and dopamine and GABA are all linked in with health, with happiness. But beyond that, there's more than those three that is happiness. You know, there's oxytocin. Talk about that in a bit as well. There's melatonin, another one linked with happiness. So oxytocin, melatonin, and there's another one I wrote down, which I'm going to have a look. Oh yeah, DMT. DMT is something endogenously produced by your own body. So we can talk about how to flood your body with DMT, which is going to make you happy too. And I think I've covered all the bases there. Yeah, I have. So if anyone's got any any ideas on how to maximize any of these hormones that I've just mentioned or any that I haven't mentioned in activities that we can do physically, health, emotional, whatever, please hit me up because I don't know everything. I'm trying to seek knowledge from other people as, you know, talking about experiences I've had with maximization of my hormones and how that affects my mental state, because it does. It really does. Hormones are powerful, mate. When you flood your body with serotonin and testosterone, I can speak as a man on the power of a couple of things. Testosterone really does make you happy. Happiness is hormonal. Yeah, I'm not the only one preaching this. Another guy that preaches on this a lot is Wim Hof. If you start studying Wim Hof's work, you'll see that Wim Hof talks about this. Wim Hof believes, and I think he's correct, that happiness can be, depression can be completely alleviated when you maximize your endocrine system, your hormonal system. He talks about this all the time, and it just makes sense to me. And he's figured that out because when he does his Wim Hof breathing, he gets really fucking happy. When he does his Wim Hof breathing, form of pranayama he's invented, breath work, he reckons he's optimizing his endocrine system manually by this breathing. He's optimizing. He reckons he's boosting his serotonin, dopamine, and flooding his body with all these amazing chemicals. I tell you what, his Wim Hof also floods the body with DMT, another fucking happiness chemical, I believe. There's so many outputs of maximization of how you can, as a man or woman, you can maximize your hormonal system. So, start with serotonin. These are obvious ones, right? I'm not even going to talk about food, because yeah, there's foods that can boost your serotonin level, but that's not my specialty. I don't focus too much on that. There's things that are way more powerful than that. For example, going out in the sun. You just get out in the sun all day. Not even all day, for 5 minutes compared to nothing. Just get the sunlight onto your brain, your head. Even if you've got your clothes on, you know. Obviously, the more skin you put in the sun, the better. The more serotonin hormones you're going to release. Because, you know, you've got hormones on your skin, by the way. You've got photoreceptors on your skin. It's very powerful. But the point is that if you want to optimize that serotonin, which people say is the happiness hormone, it does make sense to me. That's one of the reasons of me it's so fucking powerful, and why people in Scandinavian countries get depressed when they don't get out in the sun, because the hormones, the serotonin levels are low, aren't they? So the longer, and I've experienced this, now it makes sense to me, the longer you spend outside in sunlight with the sun's power, one of the many mechanisms why you feel better the longer you spend in the sun is because of serotonin maximization. You amplify your serotonin levels. I think another reason for gentlemen is your testosterone levels go fucking crazy when you put your chest into the sun, but also when you put your genitals, that's next level. But if you don't put your genitals, by the way, this works for women too. I believe that when women expose their breasts and their genitals, especially the genitals, for the men and women to sunlight, fucking goes crazy through the roof. Happiness. I mean that, it's fucking crazy. When you expose your genitals as a man or woman to the sunlight, even for 20 minutes a day, you will feel the lift in your mood go up. If you do it for an hour, holy shit. If you did it all day like our ancestors must have been like super fucking happy and doped out all the time. You know, if they were nude, even if they weren't nude, even if they had covered up their genitals, but they had like, as men, get like a huge spike just from our chest and back being exposed. Studies show, you know, I read that in a Moritz book, and Dr. Andreas Moritz book, that our testosterone levels as men get spiked crazily, even if we don't expose our genitals. That's the ultimate, the genitals, for the percentage of testosterone spike. But even if it's not, it's just the chest, mate. Just the chest really does get you your testosterone levels high. And like I said, I've noticed in it, like, as soon as I spike my testosterone levels, I get happy. So testosterone is not just a you know, muscle mass, like more confidence. There's a lot of benefits to maximizing this hormone testosterone, I think, for women and especially men. There's lots of benefits outside of happiness, like you can exercise longer, increase your muscle mass, I'm more confident, I'm less fearful. These are all amazing. But one of them I like to focus on is it literally makes me happier if I, you know, take my willy out for 20 minutes into the sunlight, or do some shit, something like that when no one's looking. You know, if I do expose more of my body flesh to sun, it boosts my testosterone, and it's very powerful. I think for women it'll just be the estrogen levels, I guess, if your yonis gets exposed to the sunlight. I don't know, it's helpful for men and women to get. That's why nudism works, and that's why part of the Matrix agenda is to have us in clothes all the time and get people arrested for being nude and naked. And also another part of their agenda is to make people that go naked, these nudists, fucking seem crazy. It's part of an agenda. It's part of an agenda. It really is. And the mainstream think people go nude just for a freedom thing, like to not give a shit what people think of you. Maybe they do, but the real thing we should focus on in nudism, especially people watching this who are into health. Yeah, it's nice to be free, but it's not about that. It's about healthiness. And how do you get healthy? Be nude in privacy, you know, in the house or something if you can't do it. But nudism is powerful medicine. So yeah, serotonin, exercise. Oh, another one, exercise. So sunlight boosts your serotonin. Certain foods boost your serotonin. Exercise is fucking huge. You want to be boosting your serotonin manually via exercising every day a little bit. I think if you don't exercise every day and do a little bit of exercise, you know, you're missing out on happiness. And also release endorphins. I don't know if endorphins is a hormone. Don't know if it's a hormone or not. I'm not sure, but it makes you happy. So whilst I'm talking about hormones and happiness, do some exercise. Gives you the runner's high, and, you know, makes you happy as well. And it boosts your serotonin when you exercise as well. Listening to music, by the way, it's another one. Listening to your favourite music boosts your serotonin levels. I read that one just before I came on, and there's another one I'm going to check. Dancing. Doing what you love. I think doing what you love boosts your happiness hormones as well. I also think there's a social aspect to this as well. So when you're with your friends and family, chatting, vibing, having fun, people helping people in the real world on Facebook, interacting with real human beings that your soul family or whatever, or just friends and family, that boosts your happiness chemicals. And I don't really care which one it is. I don't care if it's serotonin, dopamine, GABA, or we don't even know. It just works. We always feel better after we've interacted with people. We feel stronger when we've had these interactions. Even if we're introverts, we feel stronger. And I think one of the reasons is because there's happiness hormones going fucking crazy in the brain. You know. And speaking of that, there's back to what I said originally, oxytocin is a very powerful hormone. Another one to do with health outside of serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, and not even testosterone. So oxytocin, we all know, is released when we interact with people, when we hug people, when we touch people. I think that's the reason why massage works. Massage is powerful therapy. One of the reasons why is because oxytocin, it's real touch from a real person. It's one of the reasons why sex is so powerful, why we want to get into relationships. Many reasons for that, but you think about it, sex and being in relationships is very much we want to feel happy. We want to feel happy, and I think that it's not that we don't feel happy by ourselves, but it's like being in a relationship amplifies. This is how I feel. One aspect of it is it amplifies our hormones. It amplifies our happiness hormones. So when we're in a relationship with someone we love and deeply care about, in the honeymoon phase or whatever, and we're having sex or not having sex, doesn't really matter. We're just hugging, kissing, fucking just chatting and chilling with someone we fucking love in a relationship. Our hormones get fucking spiked. Our happiness hormones go fucking crazy. And this ties into something I read that once in Dr. Fritz talked about that studies show that people in love, through the honeymoon phase, when people are in love, you know, at the beginning, they never get sick. People in love never get sick. Why would that be? Because they've got a massive spike of happiness and love. When you're in love with the world, when you're in love with yourself, when you're in love with someone else, and you're going through the honeymoon phase, you don't get sick. Sickness is a disease. It's a state of dis-ease. You don't get that when your happiness hormones are flooded because you're in a new relationship with somebody and you love them. You know, you haven't got, you're in that exciting phase, you know. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that love is happiness, yeah? So if you love yourself, I guess you can create your own happiness hormones, which sounds fucking crazy. You can create your own happiness hormones, spike your own happiness hormones by loving yourself. Yeah? You don't even need a relationship. But of course a relationship would just amplify that maybe. So I'm not dissing a relationship at all, you know? As much as we do love ourselves, we can spike our emotions to new levels, you know, and take it to the sky. So yeah, oxytocin is touch. What else oxytocin? Hugging's crazy. It doesn't have to be sexual as well, just hugging people and touching people. If you're just that kind of person that likes touching, I like people. Not a creepy way, I just like touching. That's my personality. So if you can get that in, you know, that's a good thing, man, to touch people. It makes me feel good. That interaction, that real chemistry between people, between strangers and stuff, to touch. Very powerful, all the hormonal release. And the oxytocin, man. Another one, just thought of, when a woman's giving birth, she releases a massive amount of oxytocin, and that's, you know, they say one of the reasons why there's much for the baby, because this massive dump of oxytocin, right? A massive dump of love. You know, I don't want to sound cynical. I'm not. I'm just saying that's one of the mechanisms why you love your baby, because biology and evolution has decided that you're going to get a massive dump of like all these crazy happiness and bonding hormones, deep love. You know, keep the survival of the species going if you believe in evolution. So yeah, the oxytocin is a powerful one. Let me check. Oh, another one, melatonin, and that's a fucking crazy, happy, powerful, healing, relaxation hormone that we get at night. But we can't spike that unless we've got a lot of serotonin in the daytime, because serotonin is the precursor to melatonin. So if you've not got enough serotonin in your body during the day, inside your body, because you've not been out in sunlight, you've not done much exercise, you've eaten too much food, and the wrong food, and you haven't interacted with your body, and done much, you know, built relationships and stuff, and you just by yourself in your room all day long, indoors, no exercise and shit, your serotonin isn't high, you're going to have problems at night time, because if it's the precursor to melatonin, which it is, you can't make a lot of melatonin. You know, your body can produce melatonin, but it needs lots of serotonin in there to produce it. And melatonin at the night time makes you feel amazing. Holy shit. Like, when you put your glasses on, yeah, your blue blocking glasses, when you put blue blocking glasses on at night time, which you all should be doing, right, after 8 o'clock, your melatonin starts rising. Your body should be in sync with the sun, the circadian rhythm of the sun, right? So your body should be starting to rise to melatonin at 8 p.m. When the sun goes down, really. I mean, the sun's pretty early here in the UK, so as soon as the sun goes down, and you're looking at, and I'm looking at a blue screen right now, I'm sure you guys, it's artificial blue screen, and I don't know if you guys have got something like iris to block out the blue lights, artificial blue lights. You can wear these to try and protect yourself from these artificial blue lights, because if you don't, you're going to stop your body producing melatonin, which is happiness. It's a very powerful hormone. It's more than just happiness hormone. It's more than just an anti-cancer. It's master antioxidant. It's the fountain of youth in terms of hormones. Melatonin, deeply important for your health and happiness, and a proper sleep. Sleep alone is a powerful remedy for fucking happiness. So if you're fucking with your melatonin levels because you're looking at blue screens and not going to bed, and you're staying up until 2 a.m. in the morning, when your melatonin is the highest and you're still up looking at blue screens with the fucking lights, you're fucking up your health and your happiness, aren't you? So these are all factors, you know, that you've got to consider. Serotonin, dopamine, GABA. By the way, yoga increases your serotonin and definitely increases your GABA levels, and I think serotonin and dopamine as well. So you check them out. Exercise generally, but yoga specifically, they've done studies. Yoga does a lot of your as well. Testosterone, estrogen, fasting increases the levels of all these hormones. Why wouldn't fasting increase the levels of all these hormones? Overeating on any food, except fruits. But overeating on all the other foods, cooked foods and shit, is going to stop inhibit your body's ability to make these hormones as the energy of the body is taken towards digestion focus because you're eating too much food constantly. Yeah, it's taking away the energy. So start fasting and you can boost your own happiness hormones. That's another reason fasting alleviates depression, because it does. They've done studies on fasting. Fasting alleviates depression. One of the reasons why is because you're boosting your hormone level. It's crazy, huh? Your body's all powerful. All powerful. Just read this, Nate. Cool. Alright, Brittany, mate. Yeah, we'll do one day, 100%. Yeah, okay. Yeah, didn't know that, Rosalind. Yeah, it makes sense. Endocrine glands, iodine. Yeah, take iodine supplement. I'm not a big believer. I'm not. It's not I don't believe in it. I'm not a big practitioner. That's the wrong word. I'm not a big practitioner of iodine or supplementation. I think P's enough. But I mean, yes, I do know they work, so I won't stop people from doing this. Iodine, diatomaceous earth, turpentine. Actually, that's fucking powerful. You know, they are powerful. So do what you can. And one of the ways Rosalind says you can do it, I reckon that would work, to boost your endocrine levels, is to take iodine. 100%. That makes sense. Just quick read and this will go. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Joanna. If you've got hormone dysfunction, you're going to do the best you can, which is fast, get some light, carry on exercising, do the things you can. And I guess you would know better than me that, you know, if you feel like there's something wrong, you know, with your hormones and if it affects your happiness, because I do know that we all do know that happiness is a huge factor in happiness is your hormonal level. It's your physical health generally, but I mean the specific factor in this. What I'm saying here is powerful. The specific factor about physical health that affects your happiness the most, or one of the most, is hormones. I notice this when I'm another thing I didn't talk about actually when I'm talking about getting sunlight on your bare skin as a gentleman or a lady, on your private parts, on your chest, on your breasts, and all that shit. That's going to increase your hormone levels of testosterone, estrogen. That does make you happy. Testosterone, right? Another thing I noticed is semen retention. Semen retention raises your testosterone levels. So all men should be, if you're not having real sex, and even if you are having real sex, you should not be having sex and ejaculating. I'm not talking about ejaculations. You should not be ejaculating if you're having a relationship with a woman. You should not be doing that once every day. That's way too much. Way too much. I'm not saying don't have sex. I'm saying don't fucking release every single fucking day, because that's going to cost you your testosterone. Your testosterone is your life force. Your semen is your fucking life force. And I'll tell you now, I've noticed it every day of semen retention. I feel a level of happiness go up very subtly, but from like masturbating too much, and I've only come to it since last December, by the way, semen retention. I didn't understand it. I didn't really get it until recently. I've only been practicing it for a year now, a year and a bit. But I've noticed huge spikes in happiness, semen retention, due to the testosterone levels primarily. It's not just testosterone going on when you semen retention, you've got all the nutrients you're preserving, but I think the main mechanism behind why semen retention makes you happy, and it really does, is because of testosterone. It's the same kind of mechanism why I think that you become fearless as a guy compared to your level of fear. You can really boost your level of fearlessness when you semen retain. I've noticed this, and I know I'm not bullshitting with that one. My version of fear just disappears. I'm a fearful person. I've still got things to overcome in my life. My version of fear just kind of like when I've made the mistake of I had a dream even, or just manually fucking fapped and shit. Then I've gone out the next day versus 28 days into a semen retention run. There's a huge difference in my fear. I'm way more confident, way more powerful. My voice is more masculine. My mannerisms are more on point. I'm more happy. I'm more sociable. I'm more likely to talk to strangers. I'm more likely to be funny, charismatic, charming. All these things, and I'm never that because I'm an introvert and I'm damaged as well. So I've got a lot of fear inside me. I'm the best version of myself when I masturbate. You know, only when I boost my testosterone, a hormone, am I happy and I can maintain a really good level of state. You know, that's such a fucking trick if you're a guy. That's a thing that's such a fucking easy thing. It's easy to do in my mind, to get on 30 days, 50 days, 20 days, even a week. I noticed the benefits after 4 days. 4 days of semen retention. 4 days! And on the 4th day, I already noticed a difference. And by the time it gets very easy for me not to do it. Very easy. As soon as I start noticing the benefits of something, I think this is a general rule of life. As soon as you start noticing the benefits of something, you don't want to break the cycle. Once you start seeing the benefits, why are you going to waste that? You're just on a run. It's very easy, right? It becomes a habit not to. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, salt. I'm not a big huge fan of. I don't know. I'm going to experiment with seawater, Julie, but yeah, iodine. I heard it's powerful. I've heard it's good for the throat, and fluoride incorporates the pineal. It's very bad for you, but iodine replaces the fluoride and decalcifies the pineal. So I think they're in the same chemistry or something, same kind of periodic table, something. So yeah, that's what I want to say, guys. Like, happiness is hormonal. You know, it's physical health generally, so carry on doing your work protocols. But a nice way to look at happiness if you're having a dip in depression is to do something like, I don't know, Wim Hof breathing, which I've made tons of videos now on. I've done 2 lives in it. I put on my YouTube. I talk about it a lot. I'm going to carry on talking about shit like that because it just works. Breath work generally will make you happy. That's why Wim Hof talked about it. You know, he says that happiness is hormonal. These inspired me to make this video. Inspired me to think about hormones. You know, get out in sunlight, exercise, meditate, presence, breath work, exercise. If you're a guy, semen retention. Get your genitals out in the sunlight, even for 5-10 minutes a day. What a huge difference in happiness you've just made yourself. You do that for 5-10 minutes. That's crazy. Dancing, music. Listen to your favourite music. Go and do what normal people do. Go and socialise and have some fun. Because that's where normal people get happy from. Socialising is just basically hormonal. You're just boosting your hormonal system. When you get into relationships, you fall in love, you're just maximising your hormone system. You know what people are like when they're in love? They don't hate nobody. Ever. They're in that happy phase of love. What's going on mostly, primarily, is they've just spiked incredibly the amount of hormones in their system. So that's why they never get diseases. At that point when you're in love, people in love never get diseases, man. Never. Never. It's fucking true. Right. That's it. Happiness is hormonal. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, if you got any other bits you want to put in the comments after, let me know, because I want to learn how to spike my hormonal system. It's a good focus area. Not a lot of people talk about it on Facebook. You know, I always try and give what I'm learning, but what's something different, because people don't talk about that shit, man. Serotonin, dopamine. Maybe it's too basic. Maybe it's too basic. You know, it's too basic. You know, for some people, but yeah, it is. Fucking is hormonal. All right. Thanks for watching. Let's be happy. Yeah. Let's try and make ourselves as happy as we possibly can by maximizing hormonal system.